All right, let's do it. All right, join me right now on Kumite TV is highly touted bantamweight prospect Carlos Candelario. Carlos, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the time. You just got done with the workout. What are you doing?
Yeah, man. I just did a little workout with my training partner Valentin Diaz. Who's a childhood friend. These are like moments we kind of talked about when we were little and watching UFC when we were growing up in like high school and stuff. Watching Chuck Liddell, Forrest Griffin. So we just did a little like it's light stuff, like because I really started my weight cut this weekend and just situational stuff like rubbing the engine, cardio, like getting up from bad positions, good position, all that stuff, just real situational stuff. So it's like, kind of tiring.
Of course, man. Of course, man. It's a rough, a week ahead of the fight. It's pretty rough. Now, you're
Yeah.
undefeated as an amateur and as a professional, and I wanted to get your thoughts on which fight you believe you had the most adversity and which fighter put you in the most danger.
I would say it was my amateur fight back in like 2012.
Mm-hmm.
It was a long time ago, but I did a tournament for Premier FC, and it's a tournament where you're fighting every 2 weeks to a month, and everybody gets eliminated. And I made it to the finals to that one, and I fought a guy named Jeremy Repo, and man, he was like, I still remember it to this day. He was my hardest fight. He caught me with a good right hand and kind of run my bell, and I took him down. He ended up putting me in a triangle and stuff, and I was holding it the whole time. He mounted me, and then I kind of got saved by the bell. I ended up getting him the second round with a armbar triangle like kind of thing, and I ended up winning. But I remember that first round, there was a lot of thought of like, man, I'm gonna get out. Am I gonna get out of this? Man, like I'm getting tired, shit like that. Like it was definitely a really, really hard round. People see my other fighting contenders with Ronaldo when I was in bad positions. But I felt like, man, Repo really had me in a position where I was like, man, if he maybe had a little bit more time, could have been any worse.
Yeah, definitely. Those experiences, I guess, those bad positions, it gives you confidence when you get into those bad positions once again, where you don't really, I guess you don't panic, right? Because I think panic can set in sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's what I do a lot. My last couple of weeks actually, I do a lot of bad positioning, like me and getting full mounted, um, my head on the cage, kind of down, getting up. Like the guys have me in like Khabib, kind of like the lock leg down, stuff like that. Just like bad positions where I won't panic. So if it does happen in the fight, I won't be new to it. I would do what I train, trying to turn out, stuff like that. So a lot of it's really, like you said, panic positions, really.
Now, you turned pro 2015 and you just racked off a bunch of wins, went to the Contender Series 2017. You won your fight, didn't get signed, but there was a lot of learning in that experience. What did you learn and it helped you to propel into this spot once again?
Yeah. Well, after that fight, I actually got another chance, but Dana actually wanted. He didn't even give me a full day. It was like he called me. It was like, "Oh, do you want to compete again?" I'm not sure if it was for the show again or for like a short notice, but he wanted me again. But I had the ACL because my last opponent wrapped me up in a heel hook, and instead of breaking it down technique, I tried to slip out of it and end up messing my leg up. So a lot of it was from that fight was not trying to force things out, force my way out of things. Like always breathe, compose, and like technique over like power or like something like that. So that's definitely what I really learned about that fight. And just I know I don't have that quit in me. Like you could definitely put me in bad positions, and I'm still always trying to find a way to get out and or either reverse or trying to win the round, man. I'm always trying to win that round.
Well, after that fight, man, you didn't compete for a couple of years. You had a couple of fights canceled. So, were there any other reasons for your absence?
A lot of it was like one main reason I could be completely honest with you was I just felt like I felt out of love out of the game, because in middle school and stuff like that, high school, I did a little bit of wrestling and boxing and stuff. So it was like something I've been doing since I was young, like training almost every day, two or three times a day. But a lot of it was like trying to find that love back. But I never really stopped training. You know, I was always teaching. I teach at the KJSA up in Connecticut, and a lot of the guys there, a lot of amateurs, some pros, you know, and they were always giving me the motivation. I would do good against them sparring, and a lot of always there's you will see it. There's always like young guys coming in, like fresh high schoolers that want to try MMA or something like that. So a lot of that gave me the motivation again to like still be in the sport and like learn. And so a lot of it these years was just trying to perfect my game and get better at some things that I felt like I lacked in, and just trying to find that, you know, because this is a game that you got to be mentally in 100%. You know, you can't be like, oh, I want to do this maybe. You know, like you definitely got to, like this whole week I've been just training, waking up, training, taking a nap, training at night. Like that's what the lifestyle is. So you got to really be in love with that. You know what I mean? And just the whole like pressure, nerves and stuff. So I just wanted to fall in love with everything again, and two, just like some things happened in my life, injuries, and just things in my life that just made me be like, oh, there's no right time, you know. You never get a second. You do get a second chance, but you know, this time goes quick, and this is a young man's game, stuff like that. So it made me really come back.
Yeah, and you came back and you won a decision over Miguel Restrepo, a guy that you actually beat a few years back. You know, how did you feel in that fight? And you know, did you feel any ring rust?
Um, I would say, if anything, I felt a little bit tentative, like with my hands, because the first thing I did, literally the first hard punch I threw, he went for a low like ankle pick. So a lot of that was like, man, okay, this is MMA, you know, anything can happen. And then two, I kind of wanted to get a lot of the 15-minute rounds just to see where my body and cardio is at. And if you see that fight, that's all they were kind of talking about, my cardio. So that made me feel good. But I knew it was gonna be a good fight. Like Miguel trains at a better school now. He looks like, if you look at his Instagram, he looks like he's more serious about it. And I know his record's not the like, you know, craziest, but the guy's a tough guy. Like he went against a couple of Bellator veterans and things like that. Like I knew it wasn't gonna be like a easy fight in a way. And then two, when I was in the fight, I was like, man, this guy's age eventually is gonna pop up, right? Like he's eventually gonna slow down. But he was like, no, I'm gonna keep coming. And so I feel like I needed that, you know, just that first one to like really show me what's this about, you know?
That was in early August, a perfect setup for your Contender Series fight.
Yeah,
When
so
did
it
you
feels
find
good. Like
out?
I feel in crazy shape right now, you know?
Yeah, when did you? Because it seemed like a week ago they announced this fight, and you're fighting like a week later. So was it like last minute?
Um, yeah, kind of. It was like, I would say it was 3 weeks and a half. Like it was right at my fight was on a Friday. I literally had like a couple people over my house after the fight, ate like two slices of pizza and maybe pancakes in the morning, and then a day after it was like my manager's like, hey, every time he hits me up, he goes, Tyson Charity, he goes, from Top Game Management, he goes, hey buddy. And then every time when I know something like that, and when he says that, he starts up, I know it's, and I was like, what's up? And then he told me, and he was like, man, I think this is a good fight for you. And then I told him, like, these are the fights that wake me up, you know. Even when I was out for a few years, he hit me up a couple times of like, you want to, you know, be ready. There's a couple fights that you might be able to jump, because he does do that for some of his guys. And nothing really fell through, so a lot of it was that. And then the 125 wasn't. They were having that dilemma at the time of not being there. So a lot of it was like, man, do I want to fight for, you know, like for a little bit of money when I've been working this hard? So a lot of it was the love of the game and things like that. But I feel like I'm back, you know.
Yeah,
It's all love now.
yeah, for real, man. Just hearing what you've been through for the past couple of years, it seems like finding that love again. Because I feel like you said, being a fighter, That's a different. It takes a different breed. You know, people. It's cliche. People say that all the time, but it does, man. Eating, training, resting, eating, training, resting. That's
It
not easy
really
to
is,
do.
man. Especially at this age, when after you get to like 30. You know, I'm not 21. At 21, I was sparring. You know, you know what I mean? I could sleep like 2 hours and spar all day. Now I have to just actually have to take my days off and do recovery like cryotherapy and massages. You know, so it's a real. I'm a student of the game, learning everything. You know, always listening to my body. Taking my days off. That's one main thing. Yeah, like becoming wiser at this game. You know?
What is the team behind you? Could you talk about them and your
I'm
coaches?
I'm under Underdog MMA in Hartford, Connecticut, West Hartford, Connecticut, and then I go to actually a couple of gyms. Like I have a kickboxing coach in New Britain, New Britain kickboxing in Connecticut, and then I have my jiu-jitsu kind of like grappling coach in the cage. I have the shirt on right now. Can't really see it.
All right, I
The
got
Strength Academy, the
Yeah.
cage up in Connecticut, and then I cross train to a couple gyms, you know. But a lot of it's like I try to go to the best at each aspect. You know, I try to go to the best MMA school. I try to go to the best boxing school. My best boxing coach. Kickboxing to grappling to gi, like everything, man. That's why I think I was always good, right? Like I would try to go to the best guy for the each aspect of the game, and then I'll have my MMA coach too. You know what I mean?
For sure. And
So a lot of it's that, man, just going back and forth, and
yeah,
like you said, a lifestyle, man.
finding the best combination, and you're just like you said 3 weeks ago you just won a fight, your return fight. You're riding that momentum. How do you see yourself, performing on the Contender Series for your second outing?
Well, well, going off my past, like I did in my amateur, I did a lot. I did Golden Gloves, things like that, and that's something that you fight, like I said, 2-3 weeks too.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that every time, like when I do fights like that, I would perform better because I would be like, man, I hated how I did this, and then if you know me, I hate decisions. I just really don't like them. I always feel like how Dana White says, like, don't leave it to the judges, kind of thing, because anything could happen. So a lot of it was that, man. So I just want to like really perform this fight, be a little bit more faster, hit a little harder, things like that. Just be a little bit more sharper this fight, and wherever it goes, just dominate. Just be a step ahead, really. That's always my game plan. A lot of times, just I'm ready for anywhere, but wherever it goes, just trying to win and be dominant, really.
For sure. And, whenever they bring a guy in after they won their first fight to the second fight, I feel like they have confidence in you. You just got to go out there and do your thing, and you're going to get signed August 31st, Contender Series, Las Vegas. Carlos, thank you so much, man, for the time, and good luck on the rest of the week, and have fun, man, out there.
Yeah, man. Keep your eye out. It's going to be, I think it's definitely going to be a good style matchup, man. Really think so. And I'm really going to try to go for this one. This is the one it's my second chance. I really got to go for this one. That's how I'm thinking. So stay tuned, man.